After the nanny's daughter picked up a man covered in injuries, she suddenly said that he was the future prince of the Golden Circle, and she would never let me send him to the hospital. I was about to ask about the situation, and suddenly a barrage flashed in front of my eyes. The heroine is reborn, and she can finally start a sweet love with the hero. If the female supporting role had not insisted on sending the hero to the hospital, how could the hero miss his whole life with the heroine because of recognizing the wrong savior? Although our hero is the illegitimate son of the richest man, he is the only son. In 3 days, he will be recognized by the richest man and taken home to inherit the family business. It is indeed the hero, and his luck is beyond words. In the last life, the hero let the female supporting role's family be destroyed in order to vent his anger for the heroine. It's so sweet. It drives me crazy. I hope to be locked in this life from the beginning. I glanced at Tang Xiaozhu, who was full of vigilance, and the dying man, and smiled. The heroine who can only go to school with my financial support, and the hero who is about to have a high amputation. Well, I really want to lock you in. After seeing the content of the barrage, I watched coldly as Tang Xiaozhu dragged a man covered in wounds into my villa. His mother was a nanny in my house, and he grew up in my house since he was a child. Not to mention me, even my parents treated him as a god-raider. But I was too good to him, and he seemed to really think of himself as the master of this house. Just as I was about to walk over, Tang Xiaozhu stood in front of the man with vigilance. Song Qinghe, this is the person I saved. You better leave him alone. If he misunderstands something after waking up, it will be hard to explain clearly. The barrage scrolled faster. What the heroine said is right. If the female supporting role hadn't snatched the credit in the previous life, how could the hero and heroine have missed each other for so many years? Even if the heroine lives in the villa of the female supporting role and spends the female supporting role's money to study, so what? The heroine will not bow down for money. As long as the hero falls in love with the heroine will not have to live under someone else's roof. At that time, let alone tuition fees, the property of the female supporting role will belong to the heroine. The female supporting role is dumbfounded, right? This time, the heroine is guarding against him tightly, and there is no chance to attack. I frowned and looked at Tang Shu's vigilant eyes, and then I understood what the barrage meant. So I'm a vicious female supporting role, and Tang Xiaoshu and the man in front of me are the hero and hero. Because I sent the hero to the hospital despite Tang Xiaoshu's opposition, the hero thought I was his savior, and later, because of misunderstanding, my family was broken up. What a crap lot. His lower limbs are so tattered. If he is not sent to the hospital, he will just wait for death. Since they want to die, I will make their wish come true. I walked straight up to Tang Xiaozhu. Do you know who he is? You just bring him home casually. No, I don't know. The heroine is smart. This time we won't tell him the hero's true identity. Our hero Zhu Qi is the only son of the richest man, and he will inherit the family property in a few days. It's to prevent the female supporting role from getting jealous again. I laughed and opened the door of the villa directly. You don't know his identity, and you just bring him home. What if my life be guaranteed? Come on, either throw him out or take him out with you or call the police. Tang Xiaozhu's expression froze, and his face was full of surprise. Song Qinghe, why are you so vicious? He is already injured, and you still want to drive him away. Shall we go out? I pretended to be helpless inside. We are not related. Why should I let a wild man live in my house? You refused to send him to the hospital and didn't call the police. I have no choice but to do this. You decide for yourself. Tang Xiaozhu opened her mouth, but held back her words. Okay, let's go. What's the use of having money? You have no sympathy at all. You can only use money to hit people. You are worthy of being a vicious female supporting role. It's still raining heavily outside. How can you bear it? The male protagonist is so seriously injured. If you let them go, the wound will be infected if it is exposed to the rain. I looked at the persistent Tang Xiaozhu, sneered, and shook my head. If this kind of injury is not sent to the hospital in time, let alone the illegitimate son of the richest man, even if the ancestor of the richest man comes, he will be paralyzed if not dead. Tang Xiaoxu took a taxi away. Before leaving, he looked at me deeply. King Yi, you'd better not regret it. What do I have to regret? As soon as he closed the door and left, I immediately stopped his credit card. One of them had eaten my food, drank my drinks, and worn my clothes for so many years. But he was playing tricks on me. The other was sent to the hospital by me in time to save his legs, but he turned his kindness against my family. They are quite a match. I took a bath and asked someone to come to my house for SBA. The professional techniques were so comfortable that I felt drowsy, but Tang Xiaoju's phone calls kept coming one after another. The noisy rain mixed with his collapsed voice. Some King He, how did I offend you? Why did you stop my card? I'm in the hotel now, but I can't pay with the card. Do you know how embarrassing it is? Woo. I knew that what you said before about treating me as your own sister was fake. You just want to humiliate me with money. I was too lazy to argue with him and hung up the phone directly. A few minutes later, my parents called again. Song King He, my parents said in a low voice, did you bully Xiaozhu? Didn't you say you liked Xiaozhu and were willing to live with Xiaozhu as a companion? It's not a good habit to drive someone out when you're angry. We've already asked Xiaozhu to go back to find you, and you two are fine. I sat up from the bed, forgetting about my parents. I can see the barrage, but my parents can't. It may not be enough to make them believe that the child they have spoiled for more than 20 years will eventually destroy our family. Just one or two sentences are not enough. Huh? The vicious female supporting role really thinks that if she drives the heroine away, the heroine will be helpless. The supporting role is destined to be controlled by the protagonist, Wu. It's just a pity for our little Zhu baby. Now she is dragging the hero in the heavy rain alone, and she has become a drowned chicken. Half an hour later, Tang Xiaozhu came back in a mess, dragging Zhu Qi. The two stood at the door, and the rain mixed with blood dyed my tiles red. Tang Xiaozhu shivered. Song King He, why are you bullying me like this? I suppressed my sneer and said emphatically, oh, look at what you have done to yourself. How could I want to bully you? I'm just afraid that you are too kind-hearted and will be deceived. We are two weak girls. What if he... Tang Xiaoshu didn't hear my sarcasm, and her expression finally relaxed a little. The barrage was also successfully deceived by me. What you said makes some sense, but not everyone is as kind-hearted as the heroine. After all, she is a vicious female supporting role. Look, in this life, the heroine didn't tell him the identity of the hero, and he didn't even yell to send the hero to the hospital. Tang Xiaozhu looked at me resentfully. Hurry up, help me carry him upstairs. I glanced at Shu Qi, my temple throbbing. Tang Xiaozhu was almost 15 centimeters shorter than Shu Qi. He dragged Shu Qi back and forth on the asphalt road, causing the already bleeding wound to fester. Are you sure you don't want to send him to the hospital? Don't worry about it. I'll take care of him. Okay, okay. I helped him get Shuki up to the second floor, but I hold grudges, and the Bolage said that he killed our family in the last life. So while Tang Zhezhu was holding the handrail to catch his breath, I suddenly loosened my hand again. Song King He, what are you doing? Looking at the person rolling down the stairs, I covered my face in fear. I'm sorry, it's too heavy. When Ang Xiaozhu brought the person up again like dragging a dead dog, she was exhausted. Why do I feel that the female supporting role did it on purpose? It's not a feeling, he did it. I saw him rolling his eyes with ill intent. I clapped my hands with a sneer and went back to the bedroom. They came back on their own initiative, so how could I not take revenge? Tang Xiaozhu stayed with Shuki all the time and bandaged his legs himself. I saw with my own eyes that he also wrapped the rotten meat mixed with mud in gauze. Now, according to the plot, the hero will wake up this afternoon, and he will be called home by the richest man early tomorrow morning. The good days of the hero and heroine are coming. Speaking of which, the richest man's wife was really cruel. In order to prevent the hero from recognizing his ancestors, she actually sent people to kill them all. It's simply lawless. It's okay. When the hero returns domineering light, these people will die. I widened my eyes in surprise. It turned out that Shuki was beaten by the richest man's wife. No wonder he was injured so seriously. After thinking for a moment, I also waited outside Shuki's door. After not sleeping for 2 days and one night, Tang Xiaozhu was so sleepy that his eyelids were fighting. The moment Shuki opened his eyes, I excitedly grabbed his hand. Great, you finally woke up. Xiaozhu, stop sleeping. Get up quickly. This man is awake. Tang Xiaozhu woke up with a start and pushed me away. What do you want to do? It was me who saved the person. You wanted to do my hair. I smiled imperceptibly, got up and continued. How could you misunderstand me? I was too excited and just wanted to wake you up. Then I introduced Juki seriously. This is Ting Xiaozhu. He saved you. During the 2 days you were unconscious, he personally bandaged your injured leg and stayed with you all the time. He was even worried when I suggested sending you to the hospital. You were lucky to meet such a kind girl like Xiaozhu. What is the vicious female supporting role doing? Why did she suddenly change her personality? He is. Tang Xiaozhu was stunned again, and after she reacted, she pushed me away. He smiled shyly. Don't thank me. I just did what I should do. Shuki reacted and nodded at Tang Xiaozhu. Xiaozhu, is it? Thank you. I will definitely repay you when I recover. Tang Xiaozhu had dressed up carefully and was waiting. She was wearing a long dress and smiled like a white flower. Shuki supported himself with his arms to get out of bed, but the moment he stood up, he fell heavily to the ground. He was stunned for a moment and then panicked when he saw the bow on the gauze soaked with blood. Shuki seemed to remember something, and he hurriedly untied the gauze in a cold sweat from the pain. The rotten smell hit him in the face. If you look closely, you can easily find a few maggots crawling in the wound. Shuki's expression was a little stiff. Miss Xiaozhu, did you also treat my wound? Tang Xiaozhu twisted her fingers and nodded. I said no need to thank me, it's just a piece of cake. After all, I can't be as hard-hearted as some people. Tang Xiaozhu was so focused on pulling me down that she didn't notice the change in Juki's face. I smiled again and said, you don't know, in order to save you, Xiaozhu dragged you through the heavy rain for more than an hour. Because he was worried about you, you didn't even dare to use the medicine I bought. Although there was no time to disinfect, he bandaged it so well. Shuki's face turned ugly instantly. He lowered his head to look at the several scratches on his legs and said in an unclear tone, thank you so much. But I still trouble you to take me to the hospital, okay? Tang Xiaozhu nodded like a chicken pecking at rice and called an ambulance without saying a word. But after arriving at the hospital, the doctor's face changed when he saw the wound. How long have you been injured? In order to show his carefulness, Tang Xiaozhu blurted out, 2 days and one night, but the doctor frowned and scolded, nonsense, it's been so long, why don't you come to the hospital? The wound is full of maggots, and the rotten meat is wrapped in gauze. Little girl, do you know that people who have no common sense prepare for surgery? There is an 80 chance that your leg can't be saved. Shuki's face instantly became paler than the bed sheet. He held the doctor's hand tightly. Doctor, what should I do? I can't amputate. I have another one at home. I'm only 23 years old. My leg doesn't hurt that much. Please help me keep it okay. I can give you anything you want. The doctor looked at Tang Xiaozhu pressed him, for treatment has been missed. I'll do my best. Shu Qi's hand was pushed away by the doctor, and his empty eyes were filled with reluctance and fear. Ah, this. Why is it different from the original plot? The book didn't say that the hero would be amputated. I came to see the hero and heroine fall in love happily. Why is it so different from what I imagined? Tang Xiaozhu next to him also swayed, and tears immediately filled his eyes. How could this be? Before, there was no need for amputation. Doctor, did you misdiagnose? This leg is fine, isn't it? Just a fracture. Why is it amputated? Just treat the skin injury. Don't be afraid. No matter what. Did Tang Xiaozhu really not notice the hatred in Zhou Qi's eyes when he looked at him? Zhou Qi's surgery was scheduled that day. When he was pushed out, only his upper body was bulging under the quilt, and his lower body was empty. Tang Xiaozhu's eyes went dark, and he fainted on the ground. Ah, the heroine couldn't stand the stimulation and fainted. Logically, there is no female supporting role to make trouble in this life. Why are the hero and heroine more miserable than in the last life? Oh my God, the hero has lost both legs. This is really high-level paraplegia. Not only two, but all three legs are gone. He can't pass on the family line in the future. Can he still inherit the sheer family business? I pretended to be scared, screamed, and slapped Tang Xiaoju's face hard. Xiaoju, wake up! Wake up! Tang Xiaoju was slapped and turned his head away and grabbed my wrist fiercely. Are you doing this on purpose? Why do you have to interfere in both lives? If you hadn't forced me to take her out to live in a hotel, how could Zhu Qi have had an implication? Song King, you just can't bear to see me live a good life. You just want to step on me forever, right? You better get up this idea as soon as possible. I will live a good life with Yuki in the future. The days of you using money to humiliate me are over. The heroine is really angry. The supporting actress is bad to the core. She finally got a second life, but she is like this again. Well, in fact, the supporting actress doesn't seem to have done anything. The heroine herself is brainless, right? She didn't even take anyone to the hospital when she was injured like that. Plus one, the heroine should stop making trouble. I guess the hero would have. I pretended to be injured and looked at Tang Xiaoxiu. What 2 lifetimes? How could you have such an idea? It was obviously you who refused to take her to the hospital. More than 20 years of friendship. But it turns out that it is not as bad as a man I just knew for 2 days. Tang Xiaozhu, I am so disappointed in you. After saying that, I turned around and left. This time I called my parents to complain first. In this way, I want to see what way out Tang Xiaozhu has. I went back home and cried to my parents. The nanny was embarrassed. Miss, Xiaozhu has always treated you as her own sister. How could she yell at you for a man with an amputation? Is there any misunderstanding about this matter? My parents hesitated to speak, and it was obvious that they didn't believe it. The barrage passed by again. This female supporting role actually complained first. My poor heroine stayed with the hero in the hospital all night. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and she had to deal with family affairs. I really feel sorry for the heroine. He made you have such a best friend. It's disgusting. I climbed up from my mother's arms and sobbed to make a video call to Tang Xiaozhu. He answered the phone in seconds and asked with walnut eyes, "How dare you call me? If you hadn't deliberately done something bad, how could Juki have an amputation from childhood to adulthood? You have always relied on your little money and never take me seriously, Song King. I've had enough of you." He was talking crazily over there, and I looked at my parents and the nanny innocently. The nanny widened her eyes and quickly interrupted Tang Xiaozhu's madness. "You conscienceless person, what are you talking about? Hurry up and apologize to the lady." Hearing his mother's voice, Tang Xiaozhu paused. I slowly moved the camera and took in the remaining 3 people. Tang Xiaozhu stood up in shock and covered his mouth subconsciously. "Uncle, Aunt, why are you also?" My parents looked away directly. "Our family's stinky money is really nothing, great cousin. In the future, our family will not get involved in Xiaozhu's various expenses, so as not to wrong your daughter." Tang Xiaozhu on the other side of the video was pale, and it was useless for the nanny to stop my parents from apologizing. I didn't expect things to go so smoothly. After going upstairs, my mother even asked the housekeeper to sell all the luxury goods used by Tang Xiaozhu to the second-hand store. I was shocked by her swiftness. "Mom, I thought you liked Tang Xiaozhu very much." My mother said, "I like him very much, but he is not good to you, so there is no need to like him anymore." My father nodded beside him. "Last time, we arranged for him to go home because we were afraid that there would be some misunderstanding between you. Now it seems that it is not as simple as a misunderstanding. In this case, how could your mother and I let you stick to someone's cold but with your warm face?" My eyes were filled with tears when my parents said that, and I was even more determined not to be soft on those 2 people. The comment said that our family was destroyed in the previous life, so that night I found a way to contact the wife of the richest man and told her the news that Shuki had been amputated. After doing everything, I went to bed early to prepare for recuperation. Early the next morning, the comments began to roll. "Here it comes. The richest man is coming soon." Why do I suddenly feel more exciting than in my previous life? The richest man recognized his son, but found that the heir only had the upper body. I was so anxious that I hurried and finally arrived before the richest man. However, Shu Qi, who had woken up after the anesthetic wore off, was throwing a tantrum in the ward. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you stopping me from being sent to the hospital, how could I have been amputated? Idiot! Get out of here! He threw the water cup at me to vent his anger. Tang Xiaozhu's eyes worried and her shoulders shrank, but she still coaxed him patiently. I know you can't accept it for a while, but it won't affect anything. I will accompany you for the rest of my life, okay? Considering that I worked hard to carry you home and save you, don't be angry, okay? It would be better if you didn't say that. After saying this, Yuki became even angrier. If you hadn't saved me, I would have recovered long ago. Do you want to save me or hurt me? Tang Xiaozhu looked at Shuqi in astonishment, tears falling one after another. Shuqi, how can you say that to me? Why does the male protagonist treat our female protagonist like this? You too are the official man. What could have been healed in a few months' recuperation? Now his entire lower body is gone. I didn't expect that after being reborn, I would follow the script of a sadistic novel. I almost read it at the door, so I walked in and said softly as soon as I entered the door, I'm sorry, Shuqi. It's all my fault. I should have insisted on sending you here. Xiaozhu has been willful since childhood and was spoiled by his family, which is why he got into trouble. Shu Qi's attitude towards me softened slightly, but he still glared at Tang Xiaozhu fiercely. Tang Xiaozhu vented all the grievances she had just suffered on me. She trotted over and wanted to push me. Song Ping, why are you here to show your presence again? This is the man I saved. Shukai is mine. Don't even think about getting involved. I shrugged my shoulders. I just came here to tell you that my family will stop all financial support for you in the future. By the way, I kindly remind you that the tuition fee of 45,000 for the new semester is about to be paid. The anger on Tang Xiaozhu's face gradually turned into disdain. That's it. I have already thought of a way out for myself. Shuki just can't accept the changes in his body for a while now, but it will be fine after a while. He will thank me and he will love me all his life. To tell you the truth, he is the son of the richest man. When we get married smoothly, do you think I can still look down on the little things you give me? I chuckled, and just in time I caught a glimpse of a man walking hurriedly towards me. The richest man went straight to the ward. Shu Qi, my son, you have suffered. I heard that the vicious woman at home hurt you. Let me see where you are hurt. I leaned over the door and looked inside. I saw that the richest man just reached out to lift the quilt, and Zhu Qi stopped the richest man's action with a pale face. His eyes were slightly red, and his voice trembled and said, Dad, you are here to take me home, right? The richest man stretched out his hand and patted him on the shoulder. Yes. You are my only son, and the Zhu family still has a huge family business waiting for you to inherit. Hearing this, Tang Xiaozhu couldn't wait to come up. Hello, uncle, I am Tang Xiaozhu, and I carried the injured Zhu Qi home. The richest man nodded with relief. Okay, child, uncle will thank you very much. Juki, let's go already made away. The girl born by that vicious woman. Don't even think about getting a bit of my property. That's great. The richest man's attitude is still very firm. As long as the male protagonist successfully gets the inheritance rights of the family, he will not be angry with the female protagonist. At that time, the two of them can still be together happily. Yes, the Zhu family has already gathered the family members, waiting for the male protagonist to show up. Tang Xiaozhu anxiously winked at Zhu Qi, but Zhu Qi idly grasped the quilt and dared not open it. I watched from a distance and came up with a plan. Uncle Zhu Qi's body has not fully recovered. I am afraid he will have to sit in a wheelchair. Why don't you wait in the car first, and we will push him over? After all, you have a special identity and it really attracts attention here. What is the female supporting role up to? Why don't I believe that he is so kind? But now this seems to be the only way. The female protagonist is so anxious. How can she be so stupid and not smart at all? The richest man was fooled, and I quickly got a wheelchair. But before I entered the door, it was snatched away by Tang Xiaozhu. I warn you, keep your distance from Zhu Qi for the last time. This is the man I like. If you continue to be like this, don't blame me for being rude to you. He glared at me fiercely and pushed the wheelchair in. Although Zhuqi hated him, he could only let him carry him to the wheelchair. Come, cover your legs with this blanket. Tang Xiaozhu pushed Zhuqi out of the ward, and the posture really looked like the return of a king. I smiled and followed behind secretly. It took an hour to drive to the large manor in the suburbs. Taking advantage of the crowd, I mixed in. In order to welcome Zhuqi home, the richest man made a lot of preparations, and all the elders of the Zhu family were in the lobby. The richest man personally pushed Zhuqi in. The moment he entered, the originally noisy living room instantly quieted down. Jinny Ann, is this your son? Although he is an illegitimate child, he is also handsome. I heard that he graduated from a university with a master's degree in finance. He is barely qualified to take over the Zhu family's industry. A hint of pride flashed across the face of the richest man, and he didn't notice Zhu's clenched hands nervously. But as soon as he finished speaking, the richest man's wife came out with their daughter. They looked at me inconspicuously, and when they saw Zhu's legs covered with a blanket, they raised the corners of their lips. Zhu Jinian, a child born by mistress, of course the appearance will not be bad. Graduated from a university. Does a master's degree bought with money count? When Zhuqi heard the word mistress, his face became visibly ugly. Ooh, the male protagonist is humiliated by this identity again. It doesn't matter. In the previous life, after the male protagonist inherited the family property, he returned everything he had suffered 100 times and locked the mother and daughter in a mental hospital. I lowered my eyes and sneered. No matter how glorious the previous life was, it was the thing in the previous life. Tang Xiaozhu couldn't bear to see Herman being humiliated, so she stood up on the spot to refute him. Illegitimate children are also children. I'm afraid that some people have been in a serious position for decades, but they haven't even given birth to a son. Hearing this, the daughter of the richest man raised her eyebrows and walked up to Tang Xiaozhu. What did you just say? The temperament the daughter of the richest man has nurtured with money and power since childhood is not exaggerated. Tang Xiaozhu was stubborn, but he didn't dare to look him in the eye. What's wrong? I'm telling the truth. Although Zhuqi is an illegitimate child, as long as he stands here, he is the incense, the inheritance, and the pillar of the Zhu family. As soon as the voice fell, Tang Xiaozhu was slapped to the ground. The daughter of the richest man clapped her hands. What kind of cats and dogs dare to challenge me? The moment he turned around, he and I smiled at each other. The richest man was furious. I'm not dead yet. You want to rebel, don't you? Xiaozhu is right. Why did you hit him? Don't think I don't know what you and your daughter do behind my back. You can't get a penny of Zhu family's property. The richest man's wife protected her daughter behind her and stood up herself. What other reason does my daughter need to teach a wild girl a lesson? The wife of the richest man walked up to Zhuqi with a playful smile on her lips. You are the pillar of the family if you stand here. Suddenly she stretched out her hand and pulled off the quilt covering Zhuqi's legs. Even the richest man himself trembled and took 2 steps back. How did he know that the hero had no legs? It's over. Can the hero's property be obtained smoothly now? What if I can't get it? The heroine has offended the supporting female family and has no money. Zhuqi clutched the armrests of the wheelchair with both hands. His knuckles turned white due to the force, and his face turned black and red. The Zhu family members who had just agreed began to regret Zhu Jinian. It's an illegitimate child, and you found a disabled amputee? Do you think he is still a man like this? He won't even be able to pass on the family line in the future, right? It's so disgusting. Cover him up quickly. How can a person be alive when he is so disabled? Zhuqi's eyes turned red with these harsh words. Tang Xiaozhu was at a loss for a moment. Then she grabbed the blanket and covered Zhuqi with it. Why do you look down on disabled people? What's wrong with disabled people? They can still manage a business. Even disabled people are men, and they are still better than that girl. The richest woman's daughter did not give up and that girl laugh. He is better than me? Idiot. Take a good look at Zhuqi's lower body. As a man, he is low and be that way as white flower image. But suddenly advance and hold on to where you yourself. Tang Xiaoxu was stunned by what she said, but she was more unwilling to accept this fact than Zhu Qi. She yelled at the richest man's house. I don't care. Anyway, the will has been made, and the heir of the Xu family is Zhu Qi. The richest man's wife sneered and tore up the will in front of the richest man. Zhu Qi's fingertips trembled a few times, and he reached out to grab the richest man down. You said you would let me be the heir. I am like this now because of this bitch. Her goal is to prevent me from inheriting the family business. Dad, you know all this. Speak. I just injured my leg, but my brain is still good. I can manage the Zhu family's business very well. I stood up and nodded, yes, yes. I have already learned about it in advance. After graduating from high school, Shuki was admitted to a private 3-year university. Later, he spent 3 million to go abroad for gilding. He majored in financial management and will definitely lead the company to move forward in the future. As soon as these words came out, everyone present lowered their heads and covered their mouths and laughed. A private college, a 3 million gold-plated degree, a major in financial management. The richest man's wife directly asked the security guard to throw Zhu Qi out. My daughter graduated from Peking University and Tingshui University, founded her own company at the age of 20 in just 3 years, and was even on the Forbes Youth list. What can you compare with my daughter? Ladies and gentlemen who should be the heir, I believe you have already made up your mind, right? The richest man's wife was fighting for the interests of her daughter inside, while Zhu Qi and Tang Xiaozhu could only stand steadily at the door. Tang Xiaozhu shook his head and muttered to himself, No, no, it was obviously not like this in the last life. Zhu Qi should be the successor to the richest man. He was unwilling to give up and wanted to break in, but was thrown out by the security guard again. Let me in. Something is wrong. There must be someone interfering. It shouldn't be like this. The security guard looked at Tang Xiaozhu with the eyes of a madman. If you don't leave, we will call the police. It's really a daydream. A disabled person like this still wants to be the heir to the richest man in the future. When he talks about business with other bosses, he can't even shake hands. Several security guards sneered. Zhu Qi, who was hit hard, roared enough. Tang Xiaozhu squatted beside Zhu Qi's wheelchair with tears in his eyes. Zhu Qi, don't be sad. We must have other ways. There is a long way to go, and I will accompany you. Zhu Qi laughed like crazy for a few times, and tears of laughter fell. He grabbed Tang Xiaozhu's collar fiercely. How dare you say such things? If you hadn't wasted time and tried to bandage my wound, how could I have been amputated, you evil spirit? Get out of here. Tang Xiaozhu was pushed to the ground, and blood beads came out of his palm after being scratched. I clicked my tongue twice. How can this be? The two of them should be locked up. So I stepped forward to help Tang Xiaozhu up and persuaded Zhu Qi kindly. Things have come to this point. Now is not the time to lose your temper. Zhu Qi, your only hope now is Xiaozhu. Although you have only known each other for a few days, Xiaozhu has told me more than once that he likes you. How could you make him angry and run away? Zhu Qi looked at his empty legs, his eyes full of hatred. But if it weren't for him, how could my legs be like this? Why would such a person like me? I sighed. But your only hope now is Xiaozhu. Let's talk about these things later. With your body like this, there must be someone to take care of you, right? Hearing this, the anger in Zhu Qi's eyes subsided a little, but Tang Xiaozhu had already run away. Hey, Tang Xiaozhu ran away, but his mother is still at my house. He was determined to be with EIP, and now he has encountered a hurdle. I must help push it. How did the female supporting role become the promoter of the emotional line between the male and female protagonists in this life? Does this make sense? Why do I feel weird? But his mother is still at my house. He is obsessed with being with Zhu Qi, and now he has hit a roadblock. I must give him a push. After bringing Zhu Qi home, my parents were shocked. King, he this is. Tang Xiaozhu's mother glanced at me with a gossipy look on her face, chuckled, and then pushed Zhu Qi directly in front of him. Aunt Tang, this is Xiaozhu's boyfriend. What? Aunt Tang was so scared that the rag in her hand fell to the ground. Miss I haven't heard that Xiaozhu is a boyfriend. It's a mistake. I smiled and shook my head. It's true. If you don't believe it, call Xiao Zhu back and you will know. Aunt Tang's face turned red with anger, and she went back to the room to make a phone call with him. I followed him and gave him a few words before he called. Auntie, don't look at his physical defects. He is the son of the richest man's family. When she heard the richest man's family, Aunt Tang's eyes immediately lit up. Miss, is it true? I motioned for him to speak more quietly, and then nodded it's genuine. If Xiaozhu marries him, I guarantee that she will never have to worry about food and drink in the future. Although Xiaozhu and I had a quarrel, I also hope that he will live a good life in the second half of his life. Although Zhou Qi is disabled, won't such a person be manipulated by Xiaozhu will after they get married? Aunt Tang was moved by what she heard, and the word greed was almost written on her face. She couldn't wait to call Tang Xiaozhu with wrinkles on her face from smiling. Come home quickly, stinky girl. You didn't tell your mother about such a big thing as falling in love. Don't pretend your mother knows everything. Shuki has found his way home. You should come back soon. After turning around, I couldn't help laughing. Oh my God, why is the female supporting role so sinister? Why did she lie to the heroine's mother? Although he is the son of the richest man has obviously given up on him. Oh, didn't the heroine reincarnate just to be with the hero? The two of them were sticky in the last life. Since the relationship is so good, you must share the joys and sorrows. Half an hour later, Tang Xiaozhu came back. At that time, Aunt Tang had already opened up with Xu Kuan. Tang Xiaozhu was stunned after entering the door. Xu Qi, why did you suddenly come to our house? Aunt Tang pretended to be angry and pulled Tang Xiaozhu over to sit down. Mom knows everything about you. Xu Qi is a good marriage partner. It doesn't matter, even if you lost his legs. Oh, yes, the flaws do not outweigh the merits. It's nothing for young people to quarrel. Can't they make peace by coming here? And Tang put her daughter's hand in Zhou Qi's hand, smiling as if she was very satisfied with Shu Ku. My parents waved at me from upstairs, signaling me not to be a light bulb here. After I went upstairs, what happened to Dad? Logically speaking, Xiaozhu has seen a lot of good things with you since she was a child, so how could she fall in love with a disabled person? I spread my hands and explained Yuki's identity. It's a matter of willingness, and I'm willing to do it. Maybe Xiaozhu can really achieve class leap through marriage. Mom and Dad looked at each other and sighed at the same time. Ah, why did the hero start to coax the heroine? He said that he called the richest man and said that there was still room for maneuver in the matter of the air, but there was no room at all. The hero wanted to trick the heroine into marrying him, and the heroine believed it so brainlessly. I declare that this is the stupidest heroine I have ever seen. Help, my stupidity is acting up. When we went downstairs half an hour later, Tang Xiaozhu was en mans with Shu Qi with a the two of them were so fast that it was shocking. Uncle and Aunt, we are ready to get the marriage certificate. My dad said that he would never treat me badly in the future, and I naturally wouldn't let Xiaozhu suffer with me. Although Zhu Qi was smiling, his smile did not reach his eyes. But his words could fool Aunt Tang, but not my parents. Why bother to arrange the marriage so hastily? Shouldn't the parents of both sides be asked to meet? Aunt Tang was already overwhelmed by the great joy and immediately retorted, No, no, the richest man is a busy man. How can he have the time to worry about such trivial matters? I've already given the household registration booklet to Zhaozhu. They can go and get a certificate themselves. Go quickly. Getting married is something that should be done as soon as possible. Anyway, the hero unheralded. But in the previous life, everyone has seen how happy the hero was. In this life, I always feel weird. Has he really forgiven the heroine? Maybe he was moved by what the female supporting role said. Now he has no choice but the heroine. I watched the two of them go to get the certificate and wave my hand. It didn't matter. Whether Zhu Qi was using Tang Xiaozhu or was really in love with her, I had a way to make them torture each other. The two of them were together forever, and I was finally able to put my mind at ease and go back to school. A few days after arriving at school, the counselor sent a notice. All students will go out to sketch together next week. The school has booked a hotel and a car. There are two hotels, a high-standard five-star hotel and a moderately priced chain hotel for everyone to choose from. The classmates had their own choices, but Tang Xiaozhu, who had not come to school, had not made a decision. The counselor asked me to urge him, so I simply asked in the group, Tang Xiaozhu, which hotel do you want to choose? Tang Xiaozhu replied almost immediately, of course, a five-star hotel. I am already a member of the Zhu family. If I stay in a chain hotel now, it will be embarrassing for the Zhu family. I smiled and replied with A-OK, and the news of his marriage to the richest man's only son spread all over the campus. Seeing this, the classmates were envious and shouted to Tang Xiaozhu to bring the richest man's only son out for everyone to see on the day of sketching. Being hyped to this extent, Tang Xiaozhu couldn't refuse. I was still thinking whether he would accept Xu Qi's disability calmly, but when I saw him coming with a man with healthy limbs on the day of sketching, I laughed directly. Ah, the heroine brought a fake husband. Doesn't he love Xu Qi so much? Why is he doing this again? Hey, it's nothing more than being embarrassed. Don't you understand yet? The heroine actually loves the hero's money, Xiaozhu. Is this your husband? The uninformed classmates surrounded Tang Xiaozhu and her husband and flattered. While enjoying it, she glared at me as a warning. Finally, when there was no one around, Tang Xiaozhu whispered, if you dare to spread this matter, it will bring shame to the Zhu family. I will kill you. I pretended to be scared, nodded, turned around and called Zhu Qi. The voice on the other end of the phone was extremely gloomy. Send me the location. I'll be there right away. After everyone chattered for a while, they started to check in. Tang Xiaozhu wanted to stay in an ordinary double room like us, but I smiled and joked. You are bringing the richest man's family out. You must stay in a presidential suite. As soon as this was said, everyone followed suit. Yes, 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 stay in the suite. Open a room of the highest standard for them. This is the only son of the richest man. Won't the lady at the front desk take the opportunity to make a fortune? Don't worry, the son of the richest man will not be so narrow-minded. The lady up at desk took out the most expensive room card. Hello, Miss. Shoot, Mrs. This is the most expensive deluxe Riverview suite in our store, 12,999 for a total of 3 nights. The fake son of the richest man blurted out, so expensive? Made of gold? Tang Xiaozhu has had the same treatment as me in terms of food, clothing, housing, and transportation since he was a child, and he also went to an aristocratic school. The price of 12,999 is affordable for everyone. This sentence stunned everyone. Tang Xiaoshu realized that he had spoken out of turn and immediately made amends with an awkward smile. It's not expensive, not expensive. He glanced at me and actually took out the credit card my parents had given him before. Use this. Sorry, ma'am, this card can't be swiped. Soon someone crossed his arms and looked at him. The daughter-in-law of the richest man's family. You can't even take out this little money, that's right. You're not pretending, are you? Tang Xiaozhu glared at me, smiled awkwardly, and said, my bank card has a limit. Let me make a call. After squeezing out of the crowd, he sent me several messages. Are you sick? The presidential suite is so expensive. Why do you let me live in it yourself? And my credit card quickly unlocked it for me. I rolled my eyes. Why don't you say you didn't care about my family's stinky money? Why do I feel that the heroine is rotten? This is completely different from the heroine I imagined, and she is not even as likable as a supporting actor. Is someone with such a distorted outlook worthy of being the female lead? I felt relieved. Finally, someone in the comments had some brains. When I caught a glimpse of the wheelchair outside, I hurried to Tang Xiaozhu's side. He was about to call Zhu Qi for money. What are you doing here again? Don't you think I've embarrassed you enough? Put away that smug face of yours, or you'll regret begging me in the future. I didn't respond to him, but deliberately said, Xiaozhu, when are you going to stop? Didn't the wife and daughter of the richest man already give you a lot of money? You still want to ask Zhu Qi for this little money? God is watching what you do. You've already caused Zhu Qi to lose his legs. Be careful that Zhu Qi will find out one day. The male lead is outside. Tian Xiaozhu looked at me in confusion. If you have a problem with your brain, go see a doctor. Get out of here. After saying that, he continued to call Zhu Qi. But just as the call was made, the phone rang in the lobby of the hotel. Tang Xiaozhu subconsciously looked back, and when he saw the man sitting in a wheelchair in the middle of the lobby, his pupils trembled and his phone fell to the ground. Zhu Qi, what's wrong with you? He trotted over and tried to push Zhu Qi away, but unexpectedly Zhu Qi brought bodyguards. The bodyguards snatched the wheelchair from Tang Xiaozhu's hands, and Zhu Qi stared at the man in front of him with a sinister face. He is your husband. Then who am I? You want to cheat on me just after getting married. You called me to ask for your room fee. Tang Xiaozhu, where do you get the nerve? The classmates who were watching wasn't the handsome guy just now Zhu Qi? Wasn't this disabled person in a wheelchair? How could Tang Xiaozhu lie, really, and ask my husband for money to get a room with the mistress? The hat of mistress was put on, and the man who just helped act immediately became anxious. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not a mistress. He said that he thought his husband was not presentable enough, so he asked me to cooperate with the acting. He and I have nothing. After saying that, the man away. The hotel lobby was already crowded with people, and at this moment everyone stopped to watch Tang Xiaozhu's excitement. His face turned red with embarrassment, and he wished he could find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Zhu Qi had a gloomy face and squeezed out a few words from between his teeth. Go back. Although the plot is completely different from the original, it is very exciting. Where is the hero going to take the heroine? Everyone was still savoring the melon just now, and only I was staring at a barrage. Oh my God, this dark wilderness. I feel scared just looking at it. What is the hero going to do? He also hit the heroine. Could have bodyguards. She couldn't handle it at all. It's over, the female supporting role. He thought the heroine was sent by the richest man's wife and was here to destroy him. I dare not watch it. Where did the hero get the knife? I want to see it, but can't. If possible, it would be nice to see the barrage and the picture together. During the 3 days of sketching, Tang Xiaozhu missed classes for 3 days, and even the teacher couldn't contact her. At the same time, it was well known that Tang Xiaozhu married a disabled man out of vanity and found someone to pretend to be her husband for the sake of face. After the sketching, I continued to attend classes as if nothing had happened. Until a week later, Aunt Tang contacted me crying, King He, where is Xiaozhu? Do you know? Aunt I hasn't contacted him for a week. I subconsciously looked at the barrage. This mother is so careless. She started to worry after not being able to contact him for a week. The heroine has been tortured to the point of only having one breath left. In the old and dilapidated house where Zhu Qi originally lived, if you go a little later, no one will be there. Although it was expected, my heartbeat inevitably accelerated a lot, and I called the police. The police went to Zhu Qi's home immediately and soon found Tang Xiaozhu, who had been tortured and was bloody in the utility room. Aunt Tang fainted on the spot, and the two were taken back to the police station. That's your wife. Why do you abuse her like this? Zhu Qi's eyes were red, and he looked like a madman. He hurt me first. I just gave him a taste of his own medicine. He caused me to lose both my legs, and he also made me lose the qualification to inherit the family property. He took away everything I have. When the police said Shuki wanted to see me, I was also a little. He was wearing prison clothes. His eyes were dull, and he raised his head slightly when he saw me coming. Do I have a grudge against you? The barrage answered this question before me. It's so funny. It's more than hatred. It can even be said to be a blood feud. In the previous life, he made the female supporting broken up. Zhu looked at me and continued, it was you who told me that Tang Xiaozhu was the only person I could rely on and asked me to marry him. It was you who told me that Tang Xiaozhu had cheated on me. It was you who told me. Song King He, do I have a grudge against you? I grinned. It's hard to say. There is no grudge in this life for the time being, but I know that if I don't protect myself, this life will end up the same as my last life. Since you are so pitiful, I'll tell you a secret. In fact, I am the one who teamed up with the richest man's wife. If I bring you down, the three major projects that the richest man's wife promised to cooperate with my family can be fulfilled. Kang Zhao, she really wants to save you, but he is really too stupid. Shuqi's dull face finally had a trace of expression. He was furious, but apart from cursing, he had no other skills. I walked away with the corners of my lips curled, feeling happy physically and mentally. On the other side, Tang Xiaoju's life was not saved and she died. Aunt Tang was stimulated to have a cerebral hemorrhage and was admitted to the hospital. My parents paid for the medical expenses and asked the doctor to do his best to rescue her, but the effect was minimal. Her life was saved, but she was paralyzed in bed. Out of past affection, my parents paid for his hospitalization so that he could end his life in the hospital. When I came out of the hospital, my mother was still a little melancholy. Oh, it's really fake. The supporting actress family is fine. The hospitalization fees have been paid. In the previous life, when the male and female protagonists wanted to kill the supporting actress family, the heroine's mother didn't stop them at all. She even thought that they could occupy other people's houses after they died. I watched the barrage in silence, but at least all the bad guys around me were eradicated. After sending my parents home, I went back to school. Tang Xiaoju's death made him a celebrity and a negative example in the school. The school even opened a special class to help everyone establish a correct view of love. My ears were all used from listening to it, and I sneaked out and got into the luxury car of the richest daughter. Where do you want to go? I'll be your exclusive driver. Since I helped him once, the richest daughter and I became good friends by accident. Miss, let's go to the company. I'm the one who follows up on the new project our family has received, and I'm very busy, please. He stepped on the accelerator. Don't even think about it. You must play with me today. Without Tang Shu, Shu and Zhu Qi, the barrage environment is much better. I thought I would see a sweet love in the end, but I didn't expect the females